Abusuahyɛn ɛtoatoa so yi ɛyɛ Ghana Mampani Abediakyire Her Excellency Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang na wɔba na wɔne Angola Vice President ɔno nso yɛ ɔbaa saa ɔno nso ɛde Her Excellency Dias Lourenço ɛne abibire mu ha mmaa mpanimfoɔ a wɔn di ɔman anim ne yie ɛna wɔn nyinaa bɛhyɛ mu ha no wɔn baeɛ a na Stonebwoy nnwomtoni Juliet Ibrahim ɛne mpanimfoɔ ahodoɔ a ɔman Ghana ha sei no yɛka sɛ wɔn yɛ celebrities a yɛtumi ɛka deɛ ɛsɛsi yɛ mu wɔn nyinaa baeɛ a na ɛyɛ Africa Prosperity Dialogue 2026 a yɛwura Gabby Okyere Darko ɛna ne nsa ahyɛ aseɛ saa dwumadie ɛna ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Accra International Conference Center na dwumadie no asɛm ti a wɔn de ato so afi ɛyɛ empowering SMEs, women and youth in Africa's single market, innovate, collaborate, trade. Na adeɛ a wɔn ani eku ho ɛwɔ ha wɔn di ho nkɔmɔ nyinaa ɛyɛ sɛ Africa ha ɛyɛ borders a atwa ɛho ahyia nti ɛnam so ma Africa ni wɔkɔ ne yɔnko African country mu a na wɔbrɛ no adeɛ ne nyinaa no wɔn bɔ mpaeɛ sɛ epia ɛde wɔn nsa hyɛ nsɛm nkrataa sɛ sɛ bɛyɛ a yɛbɛtumi atwa saa border a yɛde atwa Africa ho ahyia ma yɛntumi ɛnkɔ yɛn yɔnko kuro mu no ɛwɔ sɛ ne nyinaa no yɛtwam tintontan ɛwɔ mu sɛ countries bi wɔ hɔ a ɛyɛ visa on arrival deɛ nanso yɛhwɛ anim sɛ wɔn bɛtumi de wɔn nsa hyɛ nkrataa ase na mene wo yɛn nyinaa yɛde nsa hyɛ saa nkrataa yɛ ase ama sɛ wokɔ African country bi a wodu hɔ a no wawura mu wohia sɛ wɔbɛkɔ akɔgye visa on arrival biara abusua na sɛ wowɔ amanone na ɔso sɛnde sika bɔ ɔman Ghana mu a download lemfi ne bɔ news hyɛ mu na wo sɛnde wo first $50 and above a wɔn bɛma cashback sɛ wobɔ news hyɛ mu as referral code a nti fa saa akɔnya yi so na wɔ America wɔ Canada wɔ Europe baabiaa UK nso ka ho download lemfi na fa sɛnde sika bra ɔman Ghana mu.
And we ask all these in faith and with thanksgiving to the great God of Africa. Amen.
Different sentiments. Why? A first world passport is more valuable than any PhD in the world. And in what? Same in Africa, it can be. Get ready, stand up, speak out, share the demand, mobilize the community, sign the petition. Together, let's make Africa borderless now! Put your hands together. And so I ask that you reach out for your phones and scan the QR code which will be shown and sign this petition. I thank you all for your cooperation. Please be seated. And such as the borderless at the center of the world. It's a good time to be in Ghana for the first time in many years, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is in our favor to accelerate growth and empower women, youth, and SMEs. Today, we're joined by a woman whose actionable advocacy, but much more than that, is strategic facilitation of all that is necessary to make businesses thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, joins us to augment our efforts. Would you please, with warmth in your heart, receive our guest of honor, the Vice President of our Republic, Her Excellency Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang.
Distinguished ministers and other members of government, captains of industry, finance and enterprise, the council and leaders of the APN, NIME, NAME, Nananum, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much. I bring you all greetings from His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, who was meant to be here, but was called away for other international duties. It is a pleasure to represent His Excellency. It is important to engage with the avenues that conceptualize change and implement it. It is in this context that such advocacy platforms have emerged to complement the work of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is headquartered here in Accra, to champion inter-African trade and deepen intra-African economic cooperation, investment, and mobility. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this commitment is not new. Recently, at the United Nations, President Mahama stated that Africa would shape the future. He is just as convinced of that today. And central to that conviction is a simple truth: a future that excludes young people, women, and small enterprises is not one we can afford to sleepwalk into. It is a belief that lies at our reset agenda. The idea of a reset is to move us from dependency to self-reliance, from fragmentation to integration, from exporting potential to building prosperity at home. The vision of Africa as a single, integrated economic space remains unfinished. Whether this reflects the constraints of imagination or the execution, we must remember what is at stake, and that is prosperity for Africa's people. Our borders should connect us, from Pan-African Festival of Arts and Culture through the Year of Return initiative to the Diaspora Summit, Successive governments in Ghana have worked deliberately to bridge our historical and economic divides with the understanding that progress is strongest when it is collective. This spirit of partnership was reaffirmed just last year at the second AU CARICOM Summit in Addis Ababa, where African countries recommitted themselves to cooperation rooted in dignity, equity, and mutual benefit. Against this backdrop, the African Continental Free Trade Area stands out as a historic opportunity. It is the world's largest free trade area by number of participating countries, representing a market of 1.3 billion people. Within this market, SMEs are central. Africa's SMEs are often cited as generating over 80% of employment and a significant share of GDP. In Ghana, our SMEs continue to demonstrate resilience, competitiveness, even under challenging conditions. Equally notable is the role of people. Women make up nearly half of Africa's workforce and are a major force in enterprise, especially in micro and small businesses. Our youth account for more than 60% of our population. Across the continent, our youth are driving technology and innovation from fintech to creative industries. However, ladies and gentlemen, this potential is not yet fully reflected in cross-border participation. That requires clarity of focus, expanding trade within Africa, and implementing the industrial strategies that strengthen priority sectors, build skills, support sustainable production. We must continue to invest in infrastructure and connectivity while establishing the conditions for innovation and technology. Behind all this, strong institutions and effective governance are essential to sustain progress. Ghana is actively contributing to this shared agenda. Our 24-hour economy initiative is designed to unlock productivity by better coordinating infrastructure, finance, and institutions, ensuring that businesses and workers are no longer constrained by avoidable bottlenecks or lost time. Along this, the government's Big Push Infrastructure Development Program is laying the foundation for trade and industrial growth while aligning Ghana's national priorities with those of ECOWAS and the African Union. Governments must generate long-term and medium-term policies and grow strong development finance institutions and regional projects that reflect the scale of our collective ambition. And we must continue to integrate our borders. We must continue to interrogate the borders. Africa must unite. This is not about erasing sovereignty. It is about organizing our sovereignty in service of shared prosperity and our markets. It is about enabling an entrepreneur or manufacturer, whether in Accra, Kigali, Luanda, or elsewhere, to see Africa not as a fragmented abstraction, but as one connected market with vast opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, our greatest asset remains our people. For that reason, this conference should be remembered for what was discussed, what was launched, what was committed to, and ultimately, what was delivered. I thank you for your kind attention.
Gentlemen, the President of our Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, speaking so eloquently to us through the Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency Prof.
Warriors here, this is gungulum 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 gung. This is Ghana News TV. The time is 6 o'clock. Let me follow Ghana.
So send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha. You learn five. Say you fear wo pese won tono. You learn five. A dan ya na say Japade a wani da so a pese oto Africa ha no. You learn five. So wo send this sika amodofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha. You learn five. Sanso e na say uti obi school fees ama no a. You learn five. Nyenti American full learn five ama on say utimi send this sika e fa learn five so a e ma ni begu bank account mu. Sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu. Eno achi nso no de bia learn five e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya. Learn five e secured. Na wo send this car enche na nipa wo send ama no no ne nsa aka. Learn five wo USA, Canada, UK, Italy, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Portugal, and France. What the learn five send this car? Untu ahwe. Bomadi they use me code NEWS news. Na say any day they can register or learn five so a unya bonus. Sanso and I use to chance so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma.
Woman of thought, woman of action, and indeed a woman of Africa. Since September 2017, when Angola entrusted its destiny into your household, you have stood not behind history, but within it, with purpose, with intellect, and indeed with compassion. An economist by training, a planner by instinct, and indeed a public servant by conviction. From shaping Angola's future as Minister of Planning to representing Africa at the global table at the World Bank, carrying the voices of Angola, Nigeria, and South Africa, you learned what many forget, that development is not spreadsheets alone. It's women with opportunity, girls with education, families with dignity, communities with hope. And so today, as First Lady, your purpose is clear. Women's empowerment, education for girls, health, social development. Through OFLAD, my lady, you always remind Africa that when women lead together, nations rise together. Today we gather here not as fragments, not as borders made by borrowed pens. We gather here as one people, one nation, one market, one destiny, one Africa. They say Africa is many, but we say Africa is one. Whether you speak Twi or Hausa, Swahili or Yoruba, Mbundu, Kimbundu or Kikongo, Arabic, Spanish, Japanese, French, or even English. When they chase us out of America and Europe, they do not ask if you are Zulu or Hutu, Nigerian or Kenyan, Angolan or Ghanaian. They only say African. Why then should we divide ourselves when the world already counts us as one? We are 1.5 billion strong, a slight majority of women, a continent of youth. Let Africa hear this truth. Without women, the single market won't work. And without youth, will certainly not move. They will not merely participate. They must own it, and they must drive it. Because SMEs are our heartbeat. Women are our backbone. Youth are our engine. Yes, innovation lives in our streets, and collaboration flows in our blood. Trade is actually written in our history, from Timbuktu to Mombasa, from Accra to Luanda, from Cairo to Cape Town. Africa is not poor in ideas. Africa is rich in culture, rich in raw materials, rich in young people, beaming with ideas and entrepreneurial verve. Together and united, we are not a footnote. We are not a charity case. We are a power, a future brighter than America, a market greater than Europe, a force that can stand shoulder to shoulder with India and China. For today, we are not Angola. Angola, 50 years of independence, 50 years of resilience, 50 years of dignity. Angola that welcomed the world. Angola that even saw Messi dribble past her sons, yet never lost her pride. We salute the leadership of this great nation. The chairperson of the African Union, your husband bearing the weight of Africa's unity. Today, we celebrate you. Naana Opoku-Agyemang Dias Lourenço, woman of power, champion of women, voice for the girls yet unborn, advocate of inclusion, planner of possibilities. You empower and embody the Africa we seek. Confident, competent, compassionate, and unapologetically united. You are indeed a woman of valor. And as you step forward to speak, may your words ignite women, mobilize youth, and encourage Africa, strengthen and empower our resolve to collaborate, to innovate, and to trade together. First Lady of Angola, Naana Opoku-Agyemang Dias Lourenço. Woman of Africa, Mother of Nations, the floor is yours. Good, glorious afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
And for Nakayat the poet, we say, oh my God. Put your hands together. And now the good of Africa, the good and great of Africa, please rise and celebrate a distinguished African stateswoman, the First Lady of the Republic of Angola, as she delivers her address, Her Excellency Naana Opoku-Agyemang Dias Lourenço.
The Ngananzenza Foundation for Community Development. In the area of women's empowerment, I launched in 2018 the platform Transform Lives, Be a Woman, aimed at encouraging young women to become active agents of change in their communities. We address mental health, personal finance, entrepreneurship, and leadership. The positive impact demonstrates that women that when women are given the right tools, they lead profound and lasting transformations. In parallel, in Kunene Youth Campus is being implemented and will offer leadership training, vocational education, and civic engagement, preparing our youth to meet the challenge of the future. Let me explain that Kunen is a province in Angola near of Namibia. It's our border with Namibia. Despite progress, many women continue to operate in low-profit sectors and face deeply rooted cultural barriers. Nevertheless, the role and the voice of women have gained growing recognition across Africa. Mainstream agenda perspective from policy design through implementation is essential to ensure equal benefits and opportunities for women and men alike. From our perspective, this approach is decisive for unlocking Africa's demographic dividend. Without equal opportunities, Angola and indeed Africa risks wasting more than half of its social and economic potential, which resides in women. A exclusão econômica do nosso ponto de vista, a exclusão econômica de mulheres e jovens constitui um risco estrutural grave para a estabilidade e competitividade do nosso continente. A inclusão de mulheres e jovens é uma estratégia inteligente. Uma juventude produtiva é o mais eficaz antídoto contra o radicalismo e a instabilidade. Neste percurso, importa reconhecer o papel das mulheres que ocupam posições de influência, incluindo o papel das primeiras damas de África. Embora sem autoridade executiva formal, a nossa influência constrói-se através da advocacia, servindo de voz ativa para aquelas que são silenciadas pela falta de instrução ou de acesso e oportunidades. Temos perante nós a oportunidade soberana de reescrever a narrativa de África como uma história de sucesso. Construamos juntos a Africa Trade Investments, que não deixe ninguém para trás, que não ignore nenhuma aldeia e que não se esqueça de nenhum talento. Investir nas mulheres e nos jovens não é um gesto simbólico, é uma decisão estratégica para garantir economias mais fortes, sociedades mais justas e um futuro africano de prosperidade verdadeiramente partilhada. Muito obrigada pela vossa atenção. Thank you very much for your attention. Merci beaucoup pour votre attention. God bless Africa. God bless us. Thank you very much.
humbly I invite you and the First Lady of the Republic of Angola, Excellency Dr. Sanza Dlamini Zuma. May I humbly also invite former AU Deputy Chairperson, Her Excellency Dr. Monique Nsanza Bangangwa. Alhamdulillah. Got it right. And for the powerful women of Africa, please, a round of applause. Joining the very powerful women, our Executive Chair, I ask that you join us. Madam Moderator.
So send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha Usulem fi say ye fear wo pese wo nto no Usulem fi edan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto wa Africa ha no Usulem fi say wo send this sika ama odofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha Usulem fi sanso e na say wo tie obi school fees ama no a Usulem fi nyenti American full lem fi ama on say utimi send this sika e fa lem fi so a e ma ne begu bank account mu sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu enu achi nso no de bia lemfi e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya lemfi e secured na wo send this car enche na nipa wo send ama no ne nsa aka lemfi wo USA Canada UK Italy Germany Ireland Netherlands Spain Belgium Portugal and France wo de lemfi send this car untu ahwe bomodi a dey use me code NEWS news na say ene any day di kan a register or lemfi so a unya bonus sanso e na use chen so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma
menu makwekwe sa sempa kania se menam na meti asempa no ma mo amane a na ma no keka me anyam bia what ANS Trading Agency Limited nka se wo ka se door to door for no de na e watwa e sense wo bia ne wa wo se wo sa door to door business nim wo nneoma wo UK a wo de ko Ghana ana se Germany a wo de ko Ghana 3 to 5 weeks e be kwa kodu nipa ne punu anu se try na de mo dem sronko wo se adwuma de we mu ne se wo mo bo no e da form se boko ANS Trading Agency Limited e wo air freight special service and nneoma ne ye de be fa play entintempa na akwa kodu. Obetuma fa saa kwan we ya also de nneɛma free Ghana akɔ UK ana Germany. Efe gigi dem, which na also agina ye, na men drop bomb. ANS Trading Agency Limited pe, and a 40-footer, any 20-footer container. Efe UK, ediko Ghana, ana Germany, ediko Ghana. Oma manuoma yemre, importo, exporto, them there for you. Omo Ghana na mani, 0249-170-423. UK has over fraya 0790-802-7527. Germany so 09173-771-2733. Ubenya ANS Trading Agency Limited. Our West Croydon ANS Trading Agency Limited. Quantum Brantem. Wana beboya baso. Maybe next time in your fill up from the bebro.